Welcome back to a new video here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Stinnenberg, and today I'm going to be talking about really the state of DC, led by James Gunn and Peter Safran. A lot has happened in the last 24, 48 hours that I want to break down for you guys, give my general thoughts. I was going to do it yesterday. I ended up waiting, and thankfully I did with James Gunn finally tweeting out himself today about the Deadline article, the Hollywood Reporter article, all the articles about DC moving forward. So we're going to break it down, give my general thoughts on it. Hold down today. So different type of video here at Max Talks Movies. Usually I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and a box office breakdown show every single week. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Also, please comment down below. What is your overall thoughts on the state of the DC? Do you want a lot of these DCEU Snyderverse actors to be done with the roles? Are you happy about James Gunn probably doing a complete reset of the DCEU? Do you want to see a Black Adam sequel? All these things in the comment section down below. And also please like the video, guys, the thumbs up button. So this all started, obviously, James Gunn, who did the Guardians of the Galaxy movies for Marvel, him and Peter Safran became the heads of DC Studios, doing all of the movies for DC, for Warner Brothers Discovery for the next 4 years. And that made a lot of people nervous. It made a lot of people happy. I think it made most people pretty excited. I was very excited for this move. I really loved his additions to DC, like the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. But also, I do think from a creative point of view, he knows what directors to get, not to make every movie feel like a James Gunn movie. And Peter Safran is a very successful producer. I think could be very helpful for this brand moving forward on the business side, getting contracts, which I think is going to be a lot more important based on what the reports are. So yesterday, we had a couple tweets the last couple of days of some of these actors posting, can't wait to get moving forward, all of these things. And then yesterday, a Hollywood Reporter article basically had a whole thing about 3 different projects, really 4, honestly. So let's go step by step. The biggest news, obviously, on this article was that Wonder Woman 3 is probably dead at the moment. Now, the reportedly was that Patty Jenkins, she co-wrote the script with Jeff Johns, and they sent their treatment to James Gunn and Peter Safran. Again, treatment's not the script. The treatment's just what goes on in the movie. And this was shot down in the report because Gunn and Safran, really Gunn, who's the creative head of DC, does not see this movie fitting with the story that they have already written, a part of his DC future. It was also announced in the article that Gunn that Gunn and Safran will be meeting with David Zaslav, who runs Warner Bros. Discovery, to officially give them their plan for what DC will be for the next 4 years, and if David Zaslav will be okay with it. So this obviously meant right away it said that there was basically no more Wonder Woman 3, no more Patty Jenkins, no more Gal Gadot. Now, that isn't completely true if you actually read it, and it was even more true based on what came out today, which was that Gunn gave Patty Jenkins a chance to do another treatment or another script, and Patty Jenkins declined. Now, that's a report that came out today. A lot of these things are rumors. I'm just gonna go through all the news, then we'll move into the other thing. The other thing is that Man of Steel 2 has become very unlikely. Again, the Henry Cavill coming up in Black Adam, that was all with the prior regime before James Gunn took over. And the rumor was it was a battle between James Gunn's people and The Rock's people to run Warner Brothers. Obviously, it turned out to be James Gunn himself. So the Henry Cavill, he reportedly shot a cameo to be in the Flash movie in September. Again, that movie's coming out summer of this upcoming summer. And the rumor is that it's been shown and his cameo is not in the movie, and that it's still up in the air if they will allow that cameo to be in that movie. Also, some Aquaman 2 showings have been going on, and the Ben Affleck cameo has also now been deleted from the movie. And that is also up in the air if that will happen as well. Huge news. Also, the report also stated that this could be this upcoming Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom, the sequel to Aquaman, could be the last time that Jason Momoa plays Aquaman, and that Gunn would want him to play Lobo, which I do think is one of the best castings that DC would have in a while, but to recast him as Lobo. So that's out of and all the news. Also, there's a lot of Black Adam news. Black Adam's, there were reports all week that it's going to lose up to $50 to $100 million. And The Rock came out himself and said, we're actually going to make around $50 million back from the movie, and how they have already outperformed the first Captain America film. And that led to an article that he also posted that said that there are rumors about a Hawkman spinoff, and then that completely disappeared. So that's kind of all the general news for DC. Let's get my general thoughts on it. I am honestly more okay than most people. Again, I love the Snyder Cut, but I really do believe that DC needs a total reset. I know that a lot of these characters and actors have become very iconic in their roles. If you're talking about, Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, they're very iconic performances in their roles. And the biggest problem I have with DC is honestly the fandom as of late. They have been very positive and very vocal about what they want for DC moving forward, but then they're not putting their butts in the seats in the movie theaters. Everyone who's talking about we want a Black Adam 2, where were you guys? Because the movies didn't do that well. And I just believe that for the amount, I think the biggest problem that DC and Warner Brothers at the time had the last 5 or 10 years is I think they've listened to the fans too much, which has kind of confused the whole thing. And DC at this point isn't Marvel. Marvel can make a movie, and a lot of people are going to see the movie, and they're going to be successful. There's definitely a variety of ranging success levels for Marvel. If you even take a look at this year, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever have done much better than Thor: Love and Thunder. But is Thor: Love and Thunder over 700 million worldwide? It is. Black Adam's barely, not even at 400 right now. DC can't just make a movie with a lead actor that people care about, and that's just going to make money. DC has not earned that yet from the fans, but because they listen to this uproar on social media about these people, again, Henry Cavill being in Black Adam, that was spoiled to people on Monday. Basically a way of getting people to movies. Oh, you want to see the Henry Cavill cameo? Go see Black Adam. And it didn't really help that movie whatsoever. So I honestly am all for a reset. Now, again, I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I really enjoy that first movie. I don't love it as much as other people. I really like the first Wonder Woman, and 1984 was a big disappointment. The first time I watched it, I liked it, and then the more I've thought about the movie, the more I just keep not liking the movie. So that has found a whole lot of things. Gal Gadot really isn't doing anything right now from a career point of view that makes her a box office draw outside of Wonder Woman. And that movie, the second movie, was so poorly received that Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm wanted no more part of Patty Jenkins with the Rogue Squadron movie that was supposed to be coming out. Gal Gadot's only been in like Red Notice, Death on the Nile, and Death on the Nile was not very successful in theaters, and she was the lead, and she really wasn't the lead. Again, it was The Rock and Ryan Reynolds on Netflix. So again, she was supposed to be contractually obligated. Gadot, if they made a third movie, she would be getting paid $20 million. So Patty Jenkins is $12 million. But again, it's amazing how you make that great movie, very similar to Taika Waititi right now with Patty Jenkins. They make that first movie again. Now, Taika has a lot more filmography, has won an Oscar, has been really good recently. But even Thor: Love and Thunder turned a lot of people off of that franchise. And now even Hemsworth's talking about a more serious Thor moving forward. So obviously a lot of people want to move past Taika's Thor for the foreseeable future. And it does seem like it is a Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot teamwork on this character. So that's a whole other situation. I was not a huge fan of Black Adam. I gave it like 2.5. It's a very stupid movie. And I think at this point for me, I'm just getting very tired of everyone telling me that The Rock is the biggest movie star in Hollywood, because he just isn't. He's not a box office draw in the lead role. This is his biggest box office success, with The Rock being the focal point of a movie. Now, yes, he has had the Fast and Furious franchise, but when he's been the lead actor, this has been his most successful movie, and it's going to lose Warner Brothers, rumored to be around $50 million. And it's not fair for him to compare the success or the box office, I'll say, of Black Adam to Captain America, the First Avenger. Captain America First Avenger was very early on in the MCU, a point where the MCU was not a guaranteed hit every movie. And they totally changed the vibe of Captain America following that film. Joe Johnston did not come back to direct any more Captain America films, and they went straight to the Russo brothers, which led to a lot of success for that character with Winter Soldier, Civil War, and the Avengers films. So to act like that's a fair comparison, I just don't think it is. And also you're comparing to Chris Evans, who at the time of the first Captain America is still maybe even considered as not a movie star, not a person you can put as a lead actor and now make a lot of money. Chris Evans was really a nobody. He did the Fantastic Four movies. He did Scott Pilgrim, but he was not known as this lead force in Hollywood until, the Captain America films really took off. And The Rock is supposedly, and he's the highest paid actor in Hollywood, and he just isn't a big enough box office draw as he thinks. And I love The Rock. Rock is very entertaining, but I think the way he's promoted the movie, it's too much. At this point, you just have to settle with the losses. This is not a successful movie. Even if you make $50 million on this budget, still not a successful movie. And I don't think they should even touch, and I like Aldis Hodge's Hawkman, but I don't think they should touch doing a Hawkman spin-off movie. So for me, overall, and I know Cavill, I was really happy to see him back as Superman. If he's back as Superman, I'll be happy. If he's not, I'll also be going to be fine. But it's kind of crazy for Henry Cavill, the up and down the last month. The highest of highs of he's back in Black Adam. He announces on Instagram that he's back as Superman moving forward. He quits The Witcher. Liam Hemsworth is now taking over The Witcher, which has been Cavill's biggest success in his career, really, is The Witcher series on Netflix. He dropped that series because he knew he was moving forward as Superman. And now James Gunn is kind of debating if he should even put Cavill's cameo in The Flash, because this might not be his Superman moving forward. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be a bit annoyed if he throws away a lot of those characters and keeps his characters in the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. I totally get that point. But for all those Snyderverse fans, and I love the Snyder Cut, I love Man of Steel, I love a lot of those actors, I just think DC and Warner Brothers just have to move on. And it's great that the Snyder Cut happened and the fans got what they want. But these people in control is too much. It has to be the storytelling, and James Gunn has to maneuver this and reset DC moving forward and to not make it confusing. Now, yes, it makes next year's slate a lot meaningless. Shazam, The Flash, and Aquaman coming out, and Blue Beetle coming out next year. Those movies, the more we learn about the DC's future, could be pretty much meaningless movies if James Gunn does indeed do a total reset of the brand. So overall, I am cool. I am actually preferring a reset. I think DC just needs to start fresh. They have the Matt Reeves Batman franchise going. They have Joker going, but really this is the overall DC universe. Like Marvel, they need this desperately. I just think they need a fresh slate without the Snyder Cut characters. But again, whatever these fans say, they can't dictate this because they're not also, while these fans are very vocal on social media, they're not showing up to the movie theater supporting DC movies. And that's a huge problem right now. And you can't just get sucked into the social media fandom. You have to stick to what you believe. I do believe James Gunn is going to be beneficial for DC moving forward. That's my bit of my rant on James Gunn and DC. When we get this full excited plan of what it is, I'll come back here and discuss that with you guys. But that's my overall thoughts on the reports. Yes, there are bummers in here, but I'm all for James Gunn doing a reset and moving on maybe with new cast members and a new take on these DC characters. He knows comic books. I trust James Gunn. So that's my thoughts. More videos are coming very soon on the channel, so please subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys soon.